So, if you were following us in Facebook Live, that was annoying to you and probably to us as well because it didn't work. So, we are very resourceful women and we figure out ways around things and we find solutions to problems. And that was a problem. And we could have gotten really frustrated and spent hours and hours. And yet we pivoted and here we are. So, if you've been following us for a moment, I'm Maggie and this is Stacey.
Hello.
And hello. And we are the guides in this fabulous, worthy collective, a 10-week challenge to having simple steps for life-changing results. And so today we are interviewing Stacey, and she's going to share with us a little bit more on her so that you can get to know her. So the first question is, who were you and who are you today?
I was a full-time working single mom of five daughters. I worked a full-time job and several side jobs just to help take care of them. It wasn't always easy, but it was very rewarding. And the rewards are even more abundant now that I have grandbabies. And watching my daughters be moms is just amazing to me, especially when they're doing such a good job. Um, I have to feel I had a little bit to do with that.
To do
A
with
lot
that?
to do with that. And it just really makes me happy that they've become women and they're running their own lives and raising their families now. And there's a lot more available for them to be able to work from home nowadays and to spend time with their children and stuff. I didn't have that option. The job I did have for 23 years, I was able to bring them to work if I needed to, which was very helpful. And they were always very accommodating. So I was lucky on that part. But I know there's a lot of moms that, fight with that. And that's hard when you're working all the time and you come home and you need to discipline your children and stuff. It's really hard to discipline them when you only see them for a few hours a day, but you want some less chaos in the house and some more structure and stuff. So you have to put those things into play. But through my journey, I just focused on my children, um, them growing up and everything. And I dabbled a little bit in some natural and homeopathic stuff and ended up going to school for that. And that led me on my journey of trying to find solutions for my daughter that weren't pharmaceuticals that were doing nothing but making her worse. During that time, I fell sick also. And every time I went to the doctor, it was just, oh, there's this, let's give you this pill. And I felt the same way. So it made me dive even deeper into a holistic approach for your body and your mind. And if those aren't all, your mind, body, and soul aren't together, everything's out of whack. And we are what we think, and we are what we eat, and we have to nourish our bodies in the right way so that we can live healthy and be healthy and think healthy and all of that. Um, who am I today? I am an empty nester because all of my children have moved out on their own. I am alone for the first time in my life.
So, in how
I've
many
always,
years? In how many years is that?
oh my gosh, my oldest is 34. So even before that, so like 35, 36 years, because I moved out with, girlfriends back in the day. I had roommates and then went right on to being married and right on to having kids. So it's an adjustment. I do love it. I'm not gonna lie. It is, I am alone, but I am so comfortable being alone anymore. And not that, I want to be alone forever, but no, I'm very comfortable being alone and doing my own thing and thinking of me, after so many years of making sure everyone else is okay, I now get to focus on me and share that with others, which is a really big blessing, big blessing.
So good. So, such a neat exchange and seeing that time frame. So, your oldest is 35, and how old is your youngest?
Oldest is 34. She will
She'll be 35.
Wait, is it 34? Hold on, 90? Yeah. She will be 34. She will
Okay.
be 34 because she was born in December of 90. So she's
Oh, got it.
33. Oh my gosh, 33 years.
Okay. So 30, but
33
that's okay.
years.
And then how old is your youngest?
My youngest is 21.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So
And she's out living on her own and doing her own thing, which I'm very proud of all of them. But she was the first one to move out at such a young age and really get herself going.
so neat. And the
Yeah.
example that you set that anything is possible and as hard
Yes.
and as challenging as it was, what I see is that you guys became a team, like you guys
Yes.
really bonded and figured out how to maneuver each area and each space. And it could have been, and it probably was crazy at times, the time of the month, and
Yes.
lots of intensity, yet lots of love, lots of
Yes.
love. So,
Yes.
so with all that, what would you highlight as some of your awarenesses now?
Some of my awarenesses now, just not taking things so seriously, like, everything is not set in stone. There's always, you can dig deeper and find a solution or find someone that has a solution and reach out for help. Those are things that I didn't do back then. I thought this is my job. I have to take care of them. I have to do it all myself. And so I did. And it was hard, but seeing now that, I have the option to reach out to others and find resources and, you've helped me really understand that too. And there's a lot of people out there and you have a lot of resources and you share them and it's a great thing. And yeah, it's just, yeah. Um,
I think that's a really good point right there, that as women, we tend to be an act of service.
yes,
Maybe that's not necessarily our love language, and maybe it is. Yet that service is so powerful, and realizing sometimes we overgive and we forget to ask, and not in a tit for tat reciprocation or anything like that, but like when we're in a place of need, how when we call in someone else, they feel needed. So it's like that double side. But when we're such independent women, let's go, which is
yeah,
good. But then we lose the opportunity for someone else to step into us and actually receive. Or
yeah,
what we've been working on is allowing somebody to step in.
yeah,
And when we've been used to doing it our way, good or bad, that control, we lose a little bit of the control and we gain support and
yeah,
we gain choices and options and sometimes different angles that we might have been missing because we were like so head down, let's go. And
oh
somebody
yeah,
gives their input, good or bad, take a minute and assess it and like, no, that's not for me. Or, oh my gosh, I missed that. That would have been a great solution.
yeah. Yeah, because then when you're in the middle of that, you don't think you have choices because you're like, I have to act right now. There wasn't time to think of choices sometimes.
Right.
And I think as women in the past few years, that has definitely been something that we do have available. And more women are making that choice. There are more options. There are, I don't have to accept just this.
Right. Exactly. And there's no just because there's so much more, right?
Yes, yes,
So much
absolutely.
more. So ABC, awareness before change. And so you've had some huge awarenesses and it's dove deep because of your daughters, everyone, I'm sure, because that
Yes,
ripple effect of like, if this is going to affect one, could it affect, someone else in your family? And then looking back at yourself, like, okay, what can I do to adjust? What can I learn? And there's so much information out there. So you've got your holistic. So what would that certification, that like graduation, like, so what are all your specialties in that way now?
okay. So I am My title is Holistic Wellness Practitioner. Under that, I have nutritional coaching, life coaching, um, some urban farming, some other stuff, things that people haven't really heard about, which is toe reading. Um, I can also do auricular therapy. It's where you manipulate the inside of the ear because a lot of our nerve endings, well, all of our nerve endings for parts of our body are in our ear. And with a simple tool, and you can add, essential oils too for it. So it's basically the mind body connection and anything that's available there. And then the biggest drop that I totally just flaked on that one is hypnosis. So my main things that I do are nutritional coaching and hypnosis with
So
a holistic approach.
mind, body, and soul.
Yep,
Love,
mind, body, and soul.
I love it.
So
So,
anything that can get that together, is um, what I really like to focus on.
and you have such a servant's heart that it's natural for you to give solutions and options. And as a mom of five, you've been called a lot, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. My
Or
daughter's friends call me too, or my daughters will call me and be like, hey, so and so's has this going on. What could, do you have any ideas? Or they'll be like, hey, didn't you do this for somebody? What else, what else is out there to
yeah,
do? And it
yeah.
is, yeah, word of mouth. And they have, and I love doing that. I love, helping people. That is something that I really enjoy doing. And if I can make somebody else's life easier, that makes my life more meaningful.
So good. So fulfilled. So tell me, where does Worthy fit in for you? What has it done? What is it doing?
Well, Worthy kind of shook me up a little bit just because I was in this I don't know, comfortable but uncomfortable area. I was just kind of trying to figure things out. And then I, started with the book and I went slow. And then I realized things that, Jamie was talking about. And she was so raw that like you can relate. There's everyone can relate to most of the stuff in her book, but one thing is really gonna grab a hold of you. It'll either be your heart, your soul, whatever. It's going to mean something. Um, Several times in the chapters, like I was mad because I had to shut, my audiobook off because that's what I used was the audiobook, and I was doing it at work, and I'd have trainees that I'd have to stop and answer questions. And I'd be like, oh, I just want to get back to this book. So then I would come home and clean my house and put the audiobook on just so that I could get some more of it in depth, or maybe even listen to the chapter over again just because I was afraid I had missed something. But seeing someone so successful and hearing her story just makes you, it helps you feel that like anybody can do it. She wasn't famous when she did all this.
No.
She's very well known now, and she's, changed a lot of people's lives, I'm sure. But the whole Worthy book, I think all women should read it. I think there's even men that need to read it.
Well, I think for people in general, when they recognize, I feel like you said, like that authenticity that's so raw,
Yes.
that hits anyone's soul. It definitely speaks differently to us as women because of her stories and some of the things that she approached that we are familiar with, that, you hit some certain walls. Men hit them too. It's just still different. It's still different. I don't know when and how that's going to change. Yet we do hit some different walls as women, but yet it doesn't freaking matter for male or female. We hit walls right here.
Yes.
And those walls that keep us from our greater self, our greater relationships, our greater health. Like you could have looked at all those things and just kept showing up at the doctor's office, like waiting for solutions. And I don't know, we've talked about this, and I say sometimes medicine can give you diarrhea and constipation. Okay, super. Those are both horrible things, but when they say they could give you either, like you may never leave your house, you know?
Right.
So some of these holistic remedies, they don't have that crazy, scary side effect. And I'm lightly talking about that because the side effects can be more detrimental than the actual medicines. And so when you do dive deeper into all the different holistic approaches, it's interesting learning, especially as faith-filled women, what God put on this earth for us.
Absolutely.
And it's that guide to someone who's done the work that said, oh my gosh, did you know this, this, and this helps with this, this, and this without diarrhea or constipation? Like,
Absolutely.
oh, I can leave the house and feel better. Amazing. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And your dandelion tea, I made that this morning. I meant to send you a picture. And
Oh,
yeah,
what'd you think?
yeah, I think it was way better than I expected and did taste more like coffee. I was thinking it was going to be like a tea like.
Yes.
And then I saw the recipes on the back, so I'm gonna have to start playing with that. I actually made it cold today, just because I was in a hurry. So, but it was nice to be able to kind of change it up. So,
Yeah.
and I
It,
put it in one of our like stemmed glasses this morning. I don't know why, because it was cold, and I was like, "Ah, I don't know, maybe I'll put some ice in it." And Mark's like, "Are you drinking wine at 8 in the morning?" Or like whatever, like, it looked dark. It looked like a glass of wine. It looked like whatever.
Mhm.
Or actually, I think it was Lucy that said it was like, Mom, what are you drinking? Because it wasn't a normal cup. So it's just something different. But learning about the dandelion, like what a great value is something like that we see as a weed.
Yeah.
So many different benefits. So very,
Yes.
very cool. So you are going to be teaching on chapter 23. Do you have another chapter that you're teaching on?
22.
Oh, 22 and 20.
22 and 23. But I'm tag teaming 22 with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome. So we're going to bring it up in the very end. So,
Yes.
okay. So as a recap, is there anything else that's on your heart that you want to share before I go through a few details for everybody?
Just if anyone's out there just, you know, maybe feeling alone or feeling a little lost or a little unsure of, what the next move they should make, or feeling frustrated because they did something or said something or anything, just joining this group with this worthy. I mean, reading the book, and at least just read the book. It just it just opened so many doors and took down walls. I mean, it removed walls and it was like spring cleaning almost. You know, you take the curtains down because you need to wash them and put thinner ones up. And that's just the only way I can explain it. It's the book that I needed that I didn't know I needed.
And I think it's that, again, going back to Jamie's authenticity.
Yes.
I mean, when somebody can be so brutally honest with themselves, it literally like draws you in.
Yeah.
Because then you realize, holy crap, it's not just me. It's not
Yeah.
just you. And so many times the world wants you to think, oh, it's just you. It's not anyone else. Or the devil wants to dance within your story to make it all about you and no one else can relate when most of us can all relate. And when we come together and realize that, then we feel stronger, better, and more capable, which is what she's done. I'd say for us in business, that we keep going and we recognize the gifts that we have to be able to keep going. Yet, like you said, somebody might just feel alone as a mom, alone in her marriage, alone in, her health, alone in how she wants to build her wealth with her job and how to ask for a raise and all these different settings that depending on what your family situation, your friend circumstance, like it's hard to make friends when you're over a certain age. And I don't even know what that age is because I can see myself in every age and how hard it was. And now, when I find out some people's ages, I'm like, oh dear God, I could be your mom. But I'm not going
Right.
to focus on that. I'm going to focus on that we are both women doing our thing the best we can with the tools and resources we think we have access to, and we're greater together.
Yep.
We're
Absolutely.
absolutely greater together.
Absolutely.
So thank you for your time. I'm so excited to teach alongside with
Yes.
you.
Me
And for
too.
everybody who is watching, details would be we have a free Facebook group until the event starts. And then second, my screen is going off. The second, when you register and you share, you will have a beautiful compensation of your choice of either cash or a gift card to coffee or groceries or gas. So when you share Worthy with a friend, you get a $20 one of your choice. We have a little form that we're tracking to make sure that we keep everybody's referrals. And then last but not least, it will start next Sunday, and we invite you to check it out. If you share this video that we have right now, we're going to keep track of all the shares, and we're going to do a giveaway, whether you're registered or not. And we'll do a giveaway on the first event and let you, actually, maybe we'll do the drawing, the giveaway before we close Facebook. Because if you're not
Oh,
registered, we're
that's a
going
good
to
idea.
close it out. So we'll do it in before we close the event. So anyone who shares any of our worthy videos or posts, we are grateful for the share. Pass on the word, because what we know is, like Stacey said it perfectly, is that we're all in different chapters of life. We're in different spaces, and whether you're on the top of the mountain feeling amazing, or you're at the bottom of the mountain, or somewhere in the middle, someone else could use your inspiration if you're at the top and just riding high, or if you're at the bottom, then you might need someone else to like give you a hand and let you know, hey, it's going to be good. It's okay. Come around a great group of women. We all make each other better because we're stronger and more encouraging. And our goal is to gather, grow, and inspire. So thanks for your
Yes.
time today, and we hope that you'll either choose to join us in one capacity, you will share in a capacity, or say a little prayer over our program that it blesses and gives the ripple effect to others. Thanks.
All right.